Project 4 into Project 5, I just want to go over things a little bit and make sure that you watch this video so that you know all of the steps. The first thing we just want to cover is under classwork, when you scroll down to Project 4 here, the first part, Project 4, letter D, this is the first grade as part of the logo project. You're going to be sure that you hand in all 4 of your logos as PNG files, as well as the original photo that I took of yours. So it's the original photo plus the 4 PNGs like you see here, okay? These are all examples of the same sort of thing. And then when you go to classwork, the second part of the project is Project 4.5. And when you click that, you'll see that these are the pages that get handed in. So these pages look a bit like this, where you can see the entire sheet all at once with all the pieces, including your label on it. When you get up to this point of things, you will let me know. I will help you to kind of put this page together. Some more examples of that look like this. All right, get the idea? That's the finished piece that we're trying to get to at the end of the project. That's for the logo project 4.5. And remember, Project 4 was just the individual PNGs and the original image that I took a picture of your logo drawings all at once. But after that, we're going to move on now to Project 5. Now, in class, we're going to talk about the branding and identity quiz that you see here. In class, we will also go over the advertising, little tips and tricks and things like that. And the actual project itself will be handed in here. Now, this year, we're doing things a tiny bit different. I'm going to be giving you this file that you see here in front of me now in Photoshop. And when you go to this file, what is going to happen is you're going to be creating your own cereal box design. So the first thing that's really important here is that you look up, and I posted it to Google Classroom, but you can look it up on your own. You can look up cereal box designs. And when you look up cereal box designs on Google and go to images, you're going to see, all the different kinds of cereal boxes that you generally are aware of, real ones, professional ones that have been done before. But you'll also see mixed in there are examples of people's designs of their own unique, one-of-a-kind cereal box designs. So this is the same project that we are doing. What I'm giving you here, example, like here's sort of an example. There's a few more examples I saw kind of here at the top, where the box itself is sort of opened up like this, and then when you put it all together, it looks like a full box. So it's just the true packaging that's been opened up. So this is what it looks like. So what you want to do is come up with a theme for yours. And these are all the individual pieces. Each piece of white that you see here is one of these layers that are listed in red on the side in the layers panel. So for example, here's the front of the box. You'll notice that on the front of the box there is a little icon. That's that smart object icon. You're going to double click that, and when you do, you're going to see a brand new file pops up, a separate file on your screen. I think the easiest way to deal with this is go to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, do that first always, and then Window, Arrange, and you could do 2 up vertically. So you kind of see it like this. This way you can click from this one, and then you can move this one around, and then you can go back to this one that's on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side here, I'm going to do View, Fit on Screen, or Command 0, so I see the entire thing, and then you're going to go step by step creating your cereal box. So the first thing to do is really come up with a theme and a name for your cereal box. To do that, you can pick from music, TV, sports, fashion, really any topic is fine. So if I wanted to make a cereal based on, let's say a movie, right? Let's say Wonka, the Wonka movie, okay? Just as an example. So I would start looking up images from Wonka. And when I found them, I'd start collecting the images that I think would be interesting to have. So I might click this image. Remember, click the image, take it, make it big here on the side so it shows up in Google large on the side, and then click and drag from here directly into that file. And then once it's here, you can move it around. So far, tools we've used this year, you can go to Edit and Free Transform. You're aware that you can, as long as you have the little link here at the top selected, you can make this bigger or smaller. You know that you can rotate it in any direction that you want, and you can move it. After that's done, you can cut out any pieces that you would like. So in the beginning of the year, we worked on a project with the sneaker, and we did the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool. We also briefly touched on some of these as well, and we'll go over them more in class. But the idea here is that you could begin to cut out the image that you have. So one sort of quick one to do would be the object selection tool. So if I take that object selection tool and I go to that layer, I could now click and sort of hover over either the background or the picture of Willie himself and just click on it once. After you click on it, you have to wait a few seconds and you'll see a selection come up. Once the selections come up, I can right click and I can do layer via cut. Similar to what we had done with the sneaker. Now that piece, if you look on the layers panel, has been separated onto its own layer. That means this piece I can get rid of. So I'm going to click on this piece and hit delete on my keyboard to get rid of it. So when I go back out and I take a look, this is what I have. Now a cereal box needs a few things. So if I go back to Google Classroom, you will notice that in Google Classroom, let me see here it is. On Google Classroom, there's this sheet for you that's listed under Project 5 letter C and D. It's this one, it's the instruction sheet, and this is the list of all of the things. Is there a problem displaying? I don't know why. Let me try this one. All right, so connect more apps. I don't know why it's saying this. Let's open it with something else. Trial expired. Okay, forget all of that. This file, I'll just bring it up a different way so you can see it better. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'll have printouts in class for you. So this lists for you all the different things that your cereal box should have. The name of the cereal, the slogan, the description of a cereal, the cereal box company logo, which you can take from online resources, a character or image of whatever relates to your theme, an image of cereal, literally cereal should appear on the box itself, either a bowl or individual pieces of cereal. A free giveaway or box down size should appear on the box somewhere, usually on the back. You can have a backdrop, text, any kind of imagery that you'd like. So the other thing I think is important for this project is to look up a cereal box that you like. So if I was to look up, Lucky Charms, for example, and I was to look up an image of what Lucky Charms cereal looks like, I see a few different examples, right? But so let's just take this one as an example, and I'll keep that over here on the on my browser just so we can kind of go back and forth to it. So if I was trying to do something similar to this, but in this here, the first thing I would want to do is I want to change the color of the background. So start from the bottom and go up. So here, the front of the box on this thing here, I'm going to double click this little piece and I'm going to give it a color. So for this one, for Willy Wonka, I'm gonna make it kind of a purplish, reddish, something like that would be good instead of red. Okay, good. Now I want to add the cereal bowl. So you can go online, same sort of thing. Look up cereal bowl. Find some images that way. Find an interesting one. Make sure the quality is nice. Like this looks like a pretty good one here. And then you would take this, click, drag, and drop this out of here and into the picture that you're doing. Remember, this is a smart object, so all you have to do is go to File and Save as you're working, and that will show up here on the box. So every change you make, just like we did in the logo project when we did the airplanes or the truck or the bags, it works the same way. So now this piece, I'm going to bring this layer on top, move it over here, and now I need to cut this out. So I'm going to try the same thing. I'm going to try that object selection tool. I'm going to click right on it. There it is. Click once. This is a very easy tool to use, and if it doesn't work, there are some other options for you, and you can just see me in class. Just make the video shorter. I'm not going to go over them at this moment. But then you can do layer via cut. And so now layer 3 I'm going to get rid of, and here's the ball on layer 4. And you see it didn't do a perfect job. It kind of left like this little blurry sort of edge to it. When you get really close to this thing, it looks a little bit on the blurry side. I did also on Google Classroom, I gave you guys some, if you go back to Google Classroom here, and let me get out of this one for a second. So here in Google Classroom, I gave you some images of cereal. In order to download them yourself, all you have to do is click on them. After you click on them, you can just say, open a new window. And then you can hit the download button and you can actually download it. So if I download it, right, there it goes, it's going to download it now. and then it's in your downloads folder. So I could, for example, just to see the difference here, if I went to my downloads folder, I could take that and drag it into here. And you can see the quality of it's pretty good. And so those are nice to use. So you could rasterize that, and it's the same process. You basically, Command T and resize it, move it around, decide where you want it to go, choose that object selection tool, go right on it, click once, right click, layer via cut. And it did a pretty nice job as well. So either one of these I could use. I'll use this one for now. And then the sizing of this and the placement of it of each piece is really up to you. Command T, resize, rotate, decide where you want it to go. Many cereal boxes have the bowl of cereal kind of to the bottom corner somewhere, similar to this. You can make it as big as you'd like, small as you'd like. If you want to change color to any piece that you have, you can select the piece, and then once you select the piece, you could, for example, cut that piece out, so now it's on its own layer, layer 6, and then if you want to change the color of it, you can double click the layer itself. When you see layer styles pop up, you can select something like color overlay, and then you can choose your own color, and then you could choose a different blending mode. So you get what you're hoping for. Let's just say that. I'll make it green for now. Then the image of the person, right? That's part of your theme, so decide where he's going to go, or how big your theme or character is going to be, or how they're going to be kind of placed in here. Okay, that works. Then we need some things like, if we go back to here, you see they have the General Mills logo, or on some cereals, which I'll show you in class, it's the Post cereal logo or the Quaker logo, any of that stuff. So you could go here and I could do like, Post logo. So you get this kind of thing. Click it, drag it, drop it, put it on here, decide where it goes. Take a look back at the cereal box to see just how big our logo is on a cereal box. So when you go back and you're looking at like this is where we were before. Look how small it is up in the top corner. Okay, so let's make it smaller. It doesn't need to be quite so big. Make it smaller. Rotate it a little bit. Okay, good. Notice how on this one there's this white piece that's just kind of, it's sitting on this white piece. So you can create any shapes you want with the pen tool that we use from the logo design project, or the basic shape tools that we use from the logo design project. So for example, if I went to rectangle here, I can go up to the top, make sure it says shape, choose a color that I want. Let's just say for now I'll make it green. I'll make it a similar kind of green color with no stroke color, like this. And I'm going to create a box like this. You could now take this box, take the move tool, move this box. You can move it now on the layer stack underneath the logo. I could still continue to move it. I could do Command T to it. I could rotate it. Let's say like that. And now I have something similar to what's going on here. There are a few other things on this that you're going to see that you can steal from online places. Like at the bottom here, they have per 1 cup serving, right? So you might go online and type in cereal nutrition, label. Let's just say something like that. Probably will get you what you need. And you'll see things like this come up or this come up. And you can use those on the front of the box. All you have to do is simply click on it, and when you find it here, you take this piece and you literally drag this onto your box. If it comes up really huge like this, that's okay. Command T, Command 0, make it smaller, bring it over to the corner, continue to make it smaller so it sort of fits. See that there? Bring it to the top so you can see it a little better, zoom into it. And now this has white around it, right? So if we want to get rid of this white, one quick and easy way to do that is to change the blending mode for layer 8. So if I go to normal and start changing the blending mode, I can get to darken, and all of a sudden the white will disappear from our view. And then you can just kind of position it where you'd like. All right, let's go back on here, back to Lucky Charms. And so now we have the bowl of cereal, we have our character. Now in the background here, they have like this rainbow and all this different stuff with sparkles and things. You can make up your own any which way you want. So you can go online and you can find any images that you think. I'm going to type in Wonka again and just see what comes up from Wonka in terms of images and stuff. Maybe there are some chocolatey sort of things that we can find, or a swirl like this, or even the logo itself for this particular logo. There's all kinds of things that you can start to kind of pull together from this. Maybe you want to bring in you know, some chocolate pieces. Any of this stuff is fine. So, for example, if I did chocolate bar, you know, Wonka, and you see like this bar or something, right? So something similar to this. What you could do is you could take the bar and drag it in. Same kind of steps that you've been doing so far. So I'm going to take this one. Let's click and drag this into here. I don't know if this is the best one, but for now, for this example, we'll just bring it in. And then Command T, Command 0, resize it, you know, rotate it, decide where it's going to go. Maybe this gets a little smaller. I don't know. Maybe this is part of a free giveaway or something. And you can do this. Select, right, cut. It's the same steps kind of over and over, just bringing in all the different pieces. And remember, Command S, and then when you go back to here, you can see what it's starting to do. It's starting to put all those pieces together. So continue to refer back to this. Continue to refer back to the sheet that looks like this sheet. Where was it? One of them that lists all the stuff that I'll have in class for you of all the different pieces that your thing should have. This sheet here is what I'm talking about. Sorry, this sheet, the instructional sheet. And you continue to go back and forth. Last few things that are important for this design that you're working on is the name of your cereal, which you could use the text tool. You could download any font. As a reminder, you can go to dafont.com, dafont.com. Download any font that you want. So for example, if I did a Wonka font, I bet there is a Wonka looking font. Nope, there isn't. How about a chocolate font? Okay, chocolate. I spelt it wrong. There we go. So there's all these different chocolate fonts that maybe could work for what we're trying to do. Okay, so you find the one that you like and you hit download. We will install it on your machine, and then you can use that one for what you're doing. And you can use it up here. I'll help you kind of create that logo a little bit. If there is any parts of any logos that you find that you want to bring in here. So for example, when you go here and you find the Wonka symbol like this, you could bring this in. That would be an easy one to kind of use as part of this, you know? And then you could add your own words to the bottom. You could go like this, right? And you could just use these in any part. Use these in any part that you want to continue. Just make sure you have all the pieces on here. Check with me. And for any designs that you want in the background, you can find any piece like this kind of thing, just as an example, right? You can click on this, drag this directly in, Command T, make it larger, pull it like this, right? And then just drop this thing completely to the bottom and then change the blending mode. Something like that. And so you can recreate any kind of piece that you like, and it's really going to start kind of taking effect on the box. And so each piece works the same way until you have created something interesting to look at based on the theme that you created. Any questions, you will see me in class.